back to the Financial Freedom Now show. We're talking about all things financial freedom here. It's a space where we have no old bad discussions on how we can get you from where you are now to that next level you desire. My name is Toyin Ayandare, and it's your favorite show. It's your favorite host, and we're back again talking about some other interesting topic. We're talking about dealing with imposter syndrome. What does it really mean? Is it something you've ever experienced, or are you familiar with? Are you currently dealing with this? What does it really mean? The National Health Institute actually defined imposter syndrome as a psychological pattern where individuals doubt their accomplishments and have a persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud despite evidence of their competence or success. It is prevalent across industries, definitely not peculiar to financial freedom seekers only. You have people that have this as career professionals or business professionals, entrepreneurs. It can really be anyone, and I was want us to identify, because I find that this certainly happens a lot within those trying to actually achieve financial freedom and following a path that not many have actually followed or gone down. So you usually find that it happens when you're toying apart. Not many have gone on. I personally have experiences, so I definitely will share with you my experience and what does it really look like. Um, as I said, it is not confined to any particular industry. Doesn't matter where it is you're working. If you've got it, if you're dealing with it, then you're dealing with it. It really doesn't matter what the industry is or what level of success. You might be very at the beginning of your journey and still experience it, or you might be height on the peak of your career or your business and still it's going to really affect anyone from entry level professionals to accomplished leaders. So what are the common signs for recognizing imposter syndrome? What does it really look like? The first sign you can see, you might experience, or anyone that's got imposter syndrome, is the people that experience that have imposter syndrome tend to downplay their achievement a lot. Um, Usually what will happen in this space is they would attribute individuals to experiences will attribute their success to either luck or external factors, or just acknowledging other people's skills, or other people's input, rather than acknowledging their own skills or their effort, or what they've actually brought to the table. A lot of time they always would attribute the successes to others and external factors of themselves. So that's one sign. The other sign is the fear of exposure. Anyone that experiences this could actually feel like, oh well, what if I'm being I come across, what if I come across as a fraud? What if people don't believe me? What if I look like I'm telling a lie? I mean, this usually would happen when a person has got proof, if they've got evidence of their success, of their accomplishment, of their competence, yet there's still that fear of what others think, or how others can find them out, or how what, they're also very particular about how they've come across and being misinterpreted, so that they don't come across as fraud. Um, Usually, and this is quite tricky one to point out, but usually anyone that has imposter syndrome is mostly set excessive standards for themselves, set very high standards, unrealistic high standards in some case for themselves, such that they cannot even achieve it. Again, it's just a way of trying to push away any sign of success from themselves. So as a result, they'll set very high bar for themselves that they almost know that they cannot achieve, just so that they can be far from the success. Now, this is something that small and easy and simple as it sounds, can be a major showstopper from someone achieving success. So it's definitely, if you're dealing with it, or you see any of the signs in your life, you definitely have to deal with it. You can't just let it go just because you feel like you really aren't harming anyone. You are harming others if you do not realize you're harming yourself, and in harming yourself, you harm the impact you can actually make, and some other people would have benefited from that impact. So you're robbing them of the opportunity of being able to get them to learn from you or enjoy the impact that you could create. So there is definitely something you definitely want to deal with this. The impact of this, the psychological impact of imposter syndrome actually means that it can lead to self-doubt, anxiety, and stress. So obviously, all of the things I mentioned, the signs I mentioned, if not properly dealt with, it gets to a point where an individual starts doubting themselves. And when they start doubting themselves, guess what? They're not going to perform anymore because they don't believe in themselves. Their mindset tends to change, and it's just like it's a downwards slope thereafter. So you definitely want to deal with it immediately you notice this, because you don't want to get into I mean, it's not just self-doubt on it can lead to a chronic self-doubt. They just don't believe they can achieve anything. It's okay for others too, but they don't believe they can actually achieve, despite actually achieving such successes in the past. They still feel like they can't. They become very anxious and obviously stressed, and then we know what that leads to. That could lead to depression, mental health challenges, and the rest of that. So it's really something to be dealt with, because it can affect your personal well-being as well as your professional advancement, career goals, business achievements. It can achieve any individual going for increasing or excelling in any of the in any path they choose to, because obviously there's that downward slope. So let's actually think about it. What are the strategies for overcoming this? If you've identified any of the things that I've mentioned, what steps can you take to actually overcoming this imposter syndrome? There is something called the cognitive restructuring. Again, just literally helps. It's a therapeutic approach to challenging and reframing negative thought patterns. It's I mean, one of the things that sounds very easy you can start off today is actually thinking, doing positive affirmations, believing and talking to oneself. Do not underestimate how good it is to speak to yourself in a positive manner, positive tone, speaking the right words into your life. I'm a big believer of speaking. Obviously, I'm a Christian, so I believe in speaking the right words, the positive words, feeding yourself with good things rather than rubbish. I mean, you would notice the pattern. So definitely start off with making sure you take practical exercises to identify and change and challenge your own negative self-talk. Whenever you say, I mean, there's an exercise I did once where you actually write down all of those negative things, and beside those negative things, start writing a positive affirmation, positive talk, turning around that particular pattern of thoughts. Physically write it down. Whatever it is that you think of yourself, write the negative talk down, and then rewrite that narrative in the positive. Destroy the negative part and talk to yourself every day on those positive self-talk. It is massive. It sounds very simple, absolutely works. Obviously, the other thing you want to do is change your look into your belief system. I'm a Christian. I believe God wants the best for me. I believe in Jesus Christ. So obviously, all of those things help me stay solid. And even at that, I did have experience of it. And it's just about that self doubt. Because once my personal, my belief, my being a Christian allows me know who I am in Christ, know my identity. And when I know my identity, it helps me know that external sources and all of those things do not make me. It doesn't define me. So even when I experience failure, I also know that that doesn't define me. And I also believe that it's not a one-off exercise you don't just think, oh well, I've worked on myself, I believe in myself now, and so that job is done. It's a constant thing. You work on yourself, you continue your positive affirmations, you listen to motivational and good teachings, avoid things that allow you go on that downward spiral. You don't want that at all. You want to you put yourself around support networks, like-minded individuals, people will believe in the journey you're going in. Because yes, you can find yourself in family and friends that don't believe on this financial freedom journey that you are, and all they do is talk bad about it, and that could also feed into that negative self-talk. But when, if that's the case, because you can't do it with family, or depending on who they are, close family, what you want to do is combat that by being in more supportive network with like-minded individuals who understand the journey, who are speaking the same language as you do, and that way you'll find yourself in comfortable environments that will feed that positive self-talk. Another thing you want to do is definitely get someone like me, get a mentor that will help you, on a mentor in that specific area that you experience, and that can help you on that journey, giving you great testimonials, case studies, and showing you the journey and holding you on that process. Because the role of mentorship and supportive network cannot be overemphasized. It's massive in helping you do that. It's almost like you have someone opening your eyes on a daily, regular basis, showing you the possibilities, and that way we can quieten that negative self-talk and help you on that journey. There's certain loads of individuals I've worked with, have found strength and guidance through our mentorship, with our business mentorship or property mentorship. It's helped a lot of people believe. I mean, it's amazing how you see a lot of people do not be they could probably, I mean, I've worked with solicitors, I've worked with finance brokers, I've worked with estate agents, and whilst being in the property space, they still don't believe they can do it. They're helping others build their portfolio, helping others buy properties, but they've not done any for themselves because of maybe some things that have happened in the past, or they've seen some people fail, or they might have been in a position where there's one person I actually know that through their upbringing, they went through um, repossession. Their childhood home got repossessed, and so that has left some sort of residue there that's made them believe that they cannot. And so, whilst that's not exactly imposter syndrome, but that has led to that experience for them. And so they just can't, despite how successful they have been in their career, they've associated the fact that they cannot do it. So it's just being able to spin environment. So throughout mentorship, property mentorship, we've been able to help them hold their hands and help them jump through that loop. And a lot of times, as the more you challenge that thought, the more you achieve the success, the more you crush that imposter syndrome in there. The other thing we need to do, this next thing I'll talk about, is cultivating confidence and self worth. The major way to do this is celebrate your achievement. Celebrate the small wins, celebrate the big wins, celebrate yourself, celebrate your successes. The more you do that, the more you emphasize and tell yourself, I am worth, I have got great self worth. I am worth this and more. I have what it takes to achieve all of this over and over again. It's not a one-time show. I can do this again and again. So just acknowledging yourself, celebrating your small and big significant achievement is very key. You can also take a record of successes to counteract any feeling of inadequacy. So anytime you're feeling inadequate, just go back and look at your journal. Look at. One of the things that I've just launched now is the Vision Board Journal. It's available on Amazon. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can go ahead and get one for yourself. One of the things that we've put in there is an opportunity to celebrate those wins. Write down your goals, write down your achievements, and actually, when you feel that um buzz or of inadequacy, you can actually go back and look at your achievements, physically see them, because it's amazing how we forget them. You can physically read them. One of the things that we do on our Icon Property Mastermind is we bring back our mentees to come and share their case studies, a reminder. And a lot of times they always come back and say, you know what, Toyin, I was beginning to feel dejected and feel like, oh, I couldn't do that. But just talking to others that were on the journey, not a few months ago from where I was, just talking them through what I've achieved made me believe, you know what, I can do this again. And it's amazing. It's just people having platforms where they can share their wins and successes. So whilst a lot of people shut to talk down on social media, I actually don't mind it, because I feel that there's also a space where you can Talk to people about what you've achieved. Of course, in a non-purpose way, what is the motive behind what you're doing as well. But if you have a space where you can share the challenges you've had, but then also share how you were able to weather the storm, sometimes it's just good to be able to share your wins with others. So it's very key to celebrating achievement is very key to cultivating that confidence and self-worth. We also need to build your confidence. So look, I mean, think about actionable tips that you can. I mean, I can give you some tips, but what I want you to do, I'll say that your assignment is look for actionable tips that would work for you to build and maintain your confidence. Think about those moments when you were really confident. What were the common things that you did or saw around you that helped encourage that? Certainly, one of the tips that I always say is be in a mastermind group. It's great. I run several ones. I'm part of several ones, and I also run several for business, for property. Being in a mastermind group, inner circles of environments where you are able to continually build your confidence, maintain your confidence is very key. Another thing you can do is in building confidence is taking your positive affirmations, getting a daily devotional that helps feed your spiritual life as well as your physical life, reading books that help increase your confidence as well, and just cultivating a healthy self-image of yourself. That will be very key. And lastly, imposter syndrome can manifest in workplaces. So if you're still in a career, in a job, and you have a manager that tends to talk down on you, not celebrate your achievement, not give you any accolade whatsoever, that could be a downer and definitely something you want to sort it out. You want to call it out and have a conversation. But certainly, if you need to move away from that environment that doesn't create that supportive network or environment for you. Move away from such unsupportive environment and start working in an environment that works for you and feeds you on a regular. It's definitely, if you're a manager, make sure you are creating a supportive environment for employees dealing with imposter syndrome to actually grow. Once you notice and you see it, again, that's good for the world. If you are that person in that position, a manager, business owner, whatever it is, and build an environment where you can actually build employees, because individuals that are going through imposter syndrome can be very great resources if it's channeled in the right direction. All right. I think I've sort of summed that up. We understand that this is something that happens, can happen to anyone. And if you're going through this, please reach out and see how we can help you. Reach out, send a message through any of the channels listed below. Whether you're watching or you're listening on any of the platforms, please reach out because I don't want you to go on that downward spiral. I want to see you succeed and go from where you are to that next level you so desire. Until next time, it's the Financial Freedom Now Show. I must stop here to say thank you to everyone that's been sharing, liking our podcast, sharing on your social media. Thank you very much for helping this show go to the next level. And I do ask that you continue doing so. And if you've not done at all, please make sure you listen to all the previous episodes and let people know that this is happening. Like it, share the post, share the podcast. Tell your family and friends about the Financial Freedom Now show. Until next time, it's Toyin Ayandare. Thank you very much. God bless you.